I just feel like I'm on a, you know, when you value life and you got so much going on, you got so many people that count on you, like you gotta secure the bag. When I say secure the bag, that means secure everything, your life. You gotta secure the bag for the little kids, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I gotta move right.
Whoever trying to save their career, man, need to shoot some videos while the labor budgets is cut off.
War is a war, you know.
That's Boozy talking about street war. And now the tension between Yo Gotti and Key Glock is back in the spotlight again. Photos of Glock standing at Big Jook's grave exploded across the internet in April 2026. And after staying quiet for years, Gotti finally responded. This whole situation got people talking heavy online. Let's get into the grave visit that reopened old wounds and brought all the drama right back to the surface. The video everybody keeps replaying is super short, but it hit hard. It shows Key Glock standing at Big Jook's gravesite with no crew around him, no speech, no flowers, no big moment, just Glock, the headstone, and the camera recording everything. The photos started spreading online right before April 22nd, 2026, and reaction pages ran wild with it. Some clips pulled in tens of thousands of views in just days, with people breaking down every little detail from those few seconds. To understand why this moment shook the internet, you gotta understand who everybody is in this story. Key Glock, born Markevius Cathy, signed with Paper Route Empire back in 2017. He's Young Dolph's cousin, his artist, and one of the closest people around him. Big Jook, whose real name is Anthony Mims, was Yo Gotti's older brother.
They just talked to Jook probably about 3 weeks before that. He was hollering at some guys wanted to feature in California.
During court proceedings connected to Dolph's murder case, prosecutors publicly alleged that Big Jook was tied to a supposed $100,000 plot targeting young Dolph. That same courtroom testimony also mentioned claims about a second alleged price tied to Key Glock. So now, people online are looking at this photo in a completely different way. The surviving cousin of the victim, who was also reportedly named during testimony, standing over the grave of the man accused in the case. That's why this clip hit people so hard. That's exactly why the photo didn't need a caption at all. The image spoke for itself, and people instantly understood the message they believed was being sent. Not long after the pictures started going viral, Yo Gotti finally responded. For years, he had mostly stayed silent through everything surrounding the Young Dolph case, through non-stop internet rumors, and through the January 2024 killing of Big Jook outside Perignon's. But in April 2026, that silence cracked. Across reaction channels and hip-hop pages, Gotti's response was described as emotional, controlled, and deeply personal. He reportedly made it clear that his brother's grave should not become part of somebody else's story or online statement. It wasn't loud screaming or wild threats either. That calm delivery actually made the message hit even harder because people could tell it came from a real place. What made fans pay attention was the fact that Gotti usually avoids jumping into public back-and-forth drama. As the head of Collective Music Group, with artists like Moneybagg Yo, ESTG, and Glorilla under the label, he spent years handling business while others did the talking online and in music. That's why his response shocked so many people.
No, I don't know, man. I just shook my head, man. You know, I thought about Gotti, you know.
Fans felt like the grave visit crossed a line deeper than rap lyrics or social media shots. A lot of people online started saying, he doesn't respond when rappers trade bars. He responds when family gets involved. And that statement spread fast across blogs and live streams. Meanwhile, both sides of the internet instantly picked their camps. Supporters connected to the Paper Route side viewed Glock's visit as a bold statement. To them, it looked like someone facing painful history directly, especially after courtroom testimony had publicly connected his name to serious allegations. On the other side, CMG supporters saw the whole thing differently. They felt the gravesite visit was disrespectful and unnecessary, especially considering how much loss had already surrounded this feud over the years. The comment sections turned into complete chaos, with arguments going nonstop for days. Boozy Badazz had already spoken publicly before about how deeply Big Jook's death affected people close to him, and those past comments became part of the reason this gravesite moment exploded the way it did. That personal connection is exactly why the gravesite moment turned into something way bigger than just a photo online. To people connected to CMG, Big Jook isn't simply a name mentioned in court documents or internet debates. He's family. He's somebody they laughed with, grew up around, and still have old voicemails from on their phones. That emotional side is what made the whole situation feel so serious to them. That's the energy behind Gotti's response. From that side of the feud, the gravesite visit looked like old pain being dragged back into the spotlight for everybody to see. But on the other side, supporters viewed it completely differently. To them, it looked like somebody connected to the tragedy refusing to act like certain accusations and courtroom claims never happened.
Pay your note so you won't get repoed. You feel me? Whatever else you renting or leasing, I'm gonna pay this. But when this break back over, I want 10%.
And that's why the internet completely split in two. Both sides flooded the same comment sections, both sides stood firm, and nobody was backing down. Every blog, live stream, and reaction page turned into a non-stop debate overnight. To really understand why one trip to a gravesite caused this much noise in 2026, you gotta rewind all the way back to 2014. That's where things allegedly started changing between Young Dolph and Yo Gotti. What began as a business situation slowly turned into years of tension, rumors, violence, and questions that still follow Memphis hip-hop today. Back in 2014, Yo Gotti reportedly tried to sign Young Dolph, born Adolph Thornton Jr., to CMG, but Dolph wasn't going for it. He had already been building Paper Route Empire on his own, moving mixtapes independently and creating his own lane from the ground up. To Dolph, signing under another Memphis rapper reportedly felt more like losing control than leveling up, and that rejection became one of the first major turning points in the story. Young Dolph wasn't trying to sit at somebody else's table. He wanted to build his own empire from the ground up. That rejected deal became the starting point for everything that happened afterward. From Yo Gotti's perspective, an established Memphis star had reached out and got turned down. But from Dolph's side, staying independent was the entire mission behind Paper Route Empire. That meeting reportedly ended with both sides seeing the situation completely differently, and Memphis was eventually gonna feel the tension from it. For a couple years, most of the issues stayed behind the scenes. People in the city talked, rumors floated around, but nothing had fully exploded yet. Then everything shifted in 2016, when Dolph dropped King of Memphis. Even the title had people raising eyebrows, because many fans saw it as a direct challenge to Gotti's status in the city. Around that same time, CMG affiliate Black Youngsta started appearing in videos near areas connected to Dolph's South Memphis roots, often showing weapons and heavy street imagery. Fans online immediately started connecting dots, and the energy between both camps got way more serious. What started as rap competition was slowly turning into something deeper than music. Then came February 2017, when Young Dolph released the diss track Play With Yo B Say Why, a song widely viewed online as aimed at Yo Gotti.
It's up, it's stuck, just how that go.
The record included personal accusations and disrespectful shots tied to Gotti's private life and reputation. That moment took things to another level completely. It stopped feeling like just label politics or rap competition and started looking like a personal war playing out in public. Not long after, Yo Gotti's side answered back through Moneybagg Yo's Don't Beef With Me. Even though Dolph's name was never directly mentioned, fans instantly understood the message. The song carried that major label confidence and let everybody know the tension between both sides was no longer being hidden. Young Dolph didn't stay quiet after that response either. In a follow-up video, he even used a Yo Gotti lookalike and mocked the whole situation publicly. At that point, the feud wasn't just rap competition anymore. It was turning personal fast. Dolph was openly clowning somebody many people viewed as one of the biggest names in Memphis, and the tension only got worse from there. Then the music stopped being the main story. On February 25th, 2017, Young Dolph's armored SUV was hit with over 100 rounds in Charlotte, North Carolina. The situation shocked the entire hip-hop world. Somehow Dolph survived without serious injuries and still showed up to perform later that same night, which only added to the legend people were building around him online. Reports connected a vehicle linked to Black Youngsta to the scene, though charges against him and others were later dropped. Even with that outcome, fans everywhere felt like the message was clear. The feud had entered dangerous territory, and nobody involved was acting like it was just entertainment anymore. Things escalated again in September 2017 when Dolph was shot multiple times outside a Lowe's parking lot in Los Angeles. At the time, Yo Gotti was reportedly staying at the same hotel connected to the investigation and was briefly looked at by authorities before being cleared. Another associate was eventually arrested in connection to the case. But instead of disappearing after those incidents, Dolph flipped the pain into music and motivation. He dropped projects like Bulletproof and tracks like 100 Shots, turning survival into part of his image and career story. Every time people counted him out, he came back louder, richer, and more talked about than before. That's also the period when Key Glock became a major part of the story.
Man, which one? What you talking about?
In this year.
Man, one of them had nothing to do with me. I wasn't there.
In 2017, Glock officially signed to Paper Route Empire, the same year Dolph survived those two major shooting incidents. Even though Glock usually stayed quieter in public, his loyalty to Dolph was never questioned. Dolph wasn't just family to him, he was his mentor, his business partner, and somebody he openly called his big brother. By the time that 2026 gravesite photo surfaced, people already understood the history behind it. That bond with Dolph is a huge reason why Glock standing there carried so much weight online. This is where Boosie's comments about street code really started making sense to a lot of people, because by 2017, this situation had clearly moved beyond normal rap drama. What was happening between these camps didn't feel like simple diss tracks or social media jokes anymore. The energy around it had changed completely. After the Charlotte shooting in February 2017, many fans felt there was no easy way for either side to walk away quietly. Once bullets entered the story, the feud carried a different kind of weight. Online discussions, interviews, and later courtroom claims only added more fuel to the conversations surrounding both camps. Years later, court testimony and legal documents would point toward alleged jealousy, money issues, and street politics all becoming tangled together. Still, it's important to note that nobody from CMG was convicted in connection to the 2017 shooting incidents. Even with all the rumors floating around online, many parts of the story remained unanswered and heavily debated. Meanwhile, young Dolph kept moving forward. He stayed active in music, continued his Thanksgiving turkey giveaways in Memphis, and kept building Paper Route Empire into a family-driven business, with Key Glock becoming one of the biggest faces attached to it. For years after the Los Angeles shooting, Dolph built a reputation as somebody who always survived no matter what happened. He even turned those experiences into motivation for his music and public image. Every new release, every interview, and every appearance reminded fans that he was still standing despite everything surrounding him. That survival mentality became part of why supporters connected with him so heavily, which is why November 17, 2021 shocked people on a completely different level. By that point, a lot of fans genuinely believed Dolph was untouchable. The streets, blogs, and music world had built up this image of him being impossible to stop, until reality hit hard. And to understand how a feud that started years earlier eventually became tied to a major courtroom case in 2024, including testimony involving allegations connected to Yo Gotti's brother, you have to look at what happened at Makita's Cookies and what later came out during the trial proceedings. Makita's Cookies and the alleged hit list. On November 17, 2021, young Dolph stopped at Makita's Cookies in Memphis to buy cookies for his mother. What happened next stunned the entire hip-hop world. Dolph was shot multiple times and later pronounced dead at the scene. The same man who had survived the Charlotte shooting and the Los Angeles ambush was gone in his own hometown, in broad daylight, during a simple stop for his family. That's what made the tragedy hit people so hard emotionally. For years, fans had watched Dolph survive dangerous situations that seemed impossible to escape. Many people genuinely believed he would always make it through. But this time was different, and the news spread across social media within minutes. Memphis, the rap industry, and supporters everywhere were left in shock. Over the months that followed, authorities announced multiple arrests connected to the case. Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith were charged in connection with Dolph's